Well, hello guys, welcome back. I'm doing much better. I am. Thank the gods. I got stuff for Labor Day, so I have some sweet treats around the house. And I think we've earned chicken. If you've been with the channel for a while, I talk about Loki will do stealth healings on me, which I didn't have the happiest past, so he will bring stuff up at random. Or maybe it's just life brings stuff up at random and Loki's an opportunist. Either way, there's a certain way Loki goes about them used to. Odin decided, Odin gonna help. So Odin wanted me to see that he doesn't blame me for how I was raised, and it's okay, and that's in my past, and I never really, took to it, and I never really understood why we had to hate other people. So he's like, I want you to, let go of any guilt for, you can't control how your father was, you can't control how your family was. And you can't control, what your father was trying to groom you for, because as horrible as it sounds, my father thought he was doing the right thing. He obviously needed therapy, and I came from a family where that was weakness, but Odin was just trying to say, it's okay, and it's gonna work out. And I got now these because I drew my runes, and I didn't even really usually. I'm like, do you have something to tell me today? And I got now these, and it's about going through and doing kind of like a thing of seeing, like, kind of clearing out, like, what's your belief system and stuff like that. I mean, there are other meanings, but that's what I'm taking away from it for, that's pertinent to know. And it was just like, it was like Odin saying, see? You didn't have to make this hard. And I'm like, but you were so rough and mean. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He just has that kind of energy where sometimes he just, he hits you and he totally T-bones you, and you're screeching in an agony, and even Loki's looking at you like, dude, that was harsh. Did you have to do it? What? Um, Odin sometimes doesn't understand subtle and gentle with me. I'm proud of him that we know that he was. Not everybody agrees with this, but some people think he was a storm god originally, and he was so wild he actually couldn't get near humans because he didn't know how to play gently enough to be, interact with humans. So I tend to get him a lot of slack when he gets a little too rough and he plays a little too hard. I'm like, you're hurting me. And he will at least feel contrite. Loki will be like, good, want some more gravel? So I think from all that emotional garbage coming out, we earned some chicken. Now I'm being very careful with my finances, and Odin is the pragmatist who tells me don't spend money you don't have yet. Just because you think something's going to happen, YouTube, Google AdSense, all this other stuff. Just because you think it's money coming in, don't bet on it. And I'm like, I know, but I do tend to emotionally eat, as we all know. And I'm like, I could really use some fried chicken right now. We were pretty good. We hadn't gone in about a week, and this will be back-to-back days of fast food, I must admit. But sometimes I think it helps. I think if your body's screaming at you that what would really help me right now is some fried chicken, and you can afford it, go get some fried chicken. Don't, go eat tofu or something if you don't have to. And I've always treated myself in the way that, you have to eat. It's one of the things you have to do as a human. So you have to, go feed yourself anyways, and it's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. If I would go buy chicken at the store, if they would have it, it would probably cost just as much, and have to bring it home and spend the money to cook it, and then to make up the other parts of the meal, that would be an additional cost. So, it works out. So I'm doing much better, and, thank you for your concern. It's just, I'm honest with you guys because I'm like, well, I have the experience of having come up that way, but so, I might as well share it. And if you can learn not to go down the path I did, or the path that I was being drugged down, because it was all presented to me growing up very, very innocently, very as a good thing, as a thing to take pride in. It was never remember the people on the alt-right, or the people like my father was, they don't see themselves as bad people. They think they're good, wonderful, loving people, and how could dare you tell them that they're, doing something that would harm their children or would harm other people? They don't see it that way. They really see it as this positive, good thing. And I was kind of looking on Pinterest, and like all these rune books came up, and they're all written by people like that. And I'm like, I think All Father in his own way is just telling me, this is going to be the prevalent mindset. They really don't see anything wrong with it. I did actually face it in Voodoo, but like in Voodoo, you're like, man, these people went through slavery. I'd be pissed off too. So in Voodoo, I just gave it a complete pass, because I'm like, yeah, if I went through slavery, I'd be fucking pissed off too. But it's a whole different thing when you think you're superior and magical. So Odin's not holding it against me. And luckily, I had these. These are hazelnut. They get like all kinds of insane stuff up at my gas station, like hazelnut M&Ms and Mean Gay beef jerky, which is like, it's great. It's like powdered like snuff, and I like throw it in the soups and that, so that we're not flavoring our ramen with tears and sorrow. But I'm feeling a lot better. I had to get that out, and it just felt timely to share with someone. So like, I could never do outreach. I don't have the temperament for it. But just because you've been in a bad, destructive place doesn't mean you have to stay there. I mean, I was the angriest young person you would have ever encountered. I never did anything violent. I never broke the law, but at the same time, I had so much rage and hate in me, and I didn't understand why my father was teaching me one thing and my mother was teaching me the total opposite, and my family was so horrible. And, I didn't know what a normal family setting was like. And I had a lot of anger and rage and confusion to work out. So it was kind of blessing the Norse gods waited as long as they did. I mean, in a way, Loki and Odin have always been with me, but I just didn't know it was them. But it would have been a disaster because, at the time, there were like really extreme violent groups that, if I would have started too early, I could have ended up in. So, it's like, I'm lucky I didn't end up in jail. I'm lucky I'm not, I don't know if you can make a YouTube cast from prison, but I'm lucky that's not where I'm from, because it was always like there was this guiding protective force being like, no, you're not going down that path. And now I realize it was Odin and Loki safeguarding me. But it was just a thing I had to get out of my soul. And he's like, you're not carrying that around anymore. That's not your fault. You were taught a wrong thing. You recognized it. And lesson learned. You know now how harmful that ideology can be. So, he's not mad. And he wanted me to clear it out. But he wasn't very gentle about it. And Loki's been giving him death glares. And I said to Loki, usually it's the other way around. I said, can we get chicken? And he's like, yeah, I think we can get chicken. So we're probably going to finish these up, finish up the coffee, and go get some chicken. I know, I have like beat pest dying in the world, but oh man, I could use that chicken right now. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Make sure if you are subscribed and you're not getting alerts, you have hit that stupid bell. I know it's one more thing for you to do, but that is what it is, because they're telling me now, they're forcing me to see statistics every day, and they're like 75% of the people that subscribe don't even ask for alerts. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.